So imagine you take the tactical ringouts of sumo wrestling, right, and mix that with the striking of MMA. But then you dress the fighters up in safety equipment that looks like a riot officer bumped into a skateboarder.
Yeah, it definitely creates a very specific image. But, looking at the documentation for this new sport we're jumping into today, Arkan match, that weird combo isn't just for aesthetics. It's really an engineering solution to a very specific problem.
Right, which is essentially how to fight full contact literally anywhere without, ending up in the ER. Welcome to today's deep dive, by the way.
Thanks. And yeah, essentially, the sources position Arkan match as safe full contact. The goal is to let you fight on a grassy park or a sandy beach, or even concrete with full power, but really minimizing the risk of injury.
So let's look at the gear first, because visually this is the biggest barrier to entry. I mean, you aren't just taping your hands here. We're talking police-style padded body armor, soccer-style leg armor, and skate pads for the joints.
Right. And the headgear, too. The guide actually describes the head protection as feeling, quote, like couches. It's not exactly meant to be aerodynamic. It's meant to absorb shock. But the most interesting piece of kit listed here is actually the footwear. They strictly mandate soft sports shoes.
Which seems totally counterintuitive for martial art. Usually you want bare feet right for grip and sensation.
Right, but not if you're fighting on asphalt. Remember, the core mission here is portability. If you fight barefoot on gravel, you're going to tear your skin or break a toe. The shoes and the safe fall armor basically turn the human body into a tank that can just hit the ground anywhere safely.
You're armored up, sure, but that has to completely change how the actual fighting works.
Yeah.
I read the rules on engagements, and if you're coming from an M&A background, this is going to feel so restrictive.
Oh, it requires a total rewire of your instincts, I think. First off, it is strictly stand-up. Absolutely no ground and pound and no submission grappling, and obviously no neck attacks or joint breaks either.
None of that. But the biggest shift to me is actually the clinching. So in Thai boxing, or MMA, you grab the neck to control posture. In Arkan, you can only grab someone to push them.
Just to push, yeah. Which is where that sumo comparison really comes in. The ring is just a 6-meter circle. You don't have to knock the other guy unconscious to win. You really just have to shove them out of the circle.
So you're managing space, not just damage. Like if you commit too hard to a punch and miss, you might just stumble and get shoved out of bounds and it's game over.
Exactly. But the real mind bender in the documents is the scoring system, the defense points. It completely flips the script on how we view combat sports.
Oh man, I had to read that section of the rules twice. Because usually aggression is king, right? And here you do get points for attacking. It's 3 for a head punch, 1 for the body, and a knockdown is 4 points, which is fairly standard.
Right, but look at the defensive scoring. Arkan actually awards you points if you cleanly block an attack without showing a reaction.
And the values are weighted so heavily. If I block a face attack, I get 3 points. But if I block a low kick...
You get 4 points.
4 points. Think about that. You get more points for blocking a leg kick than you do for punching someone in the face.
It's such a fascinating game design choice. In modern MMA, the low kick is a low-risk, high-reward weapon. You just chip away at the opponent's legs. But Arkan penalizes that chip damage strategy. If you throw a lazy low kick and I block it, I'm winning the exchange without ever throwing a strike.
So it effectively nerfs the low kick unless you are totally sure it's going to land.
Exactly. It incentivizes perfect defense. It turns blocking from a survival mechanism into a winning scoring mechanism. You could technically win a match without ever landing an offensive strike just by being an impenetrable wall for 10 minutes.
Which forces the aggressor to be incredibly precise instead of just brawling. And that totally explains the multi-person mode they mentioned in the guide too, the Battle Royale setup.
Yeah, since there's no grappling on the ground, the system scales easily. You can put multiple people in that circle and the rules just switch to last man standing. If your knee touches the ground or you step out, you are eliminated.
It's basically king of the hill with martial arts. Chaotic, but again, the armor makes it viable. You can take a blindside hit and likely be totally fine.
It's a really interesting attempt to maximize skill while minimizing the hospital bills.
So just to pull this all together for everyone listening, we have a sport designed for the park or a parking lot. You wear heavy padding for full contact on hard surfaces, and the rules discourage brawling by giving massive points to clean defense.
Which leaves us with a really provocative thought to end on. In almost every combat sport in history, the champion is the predator, the one who hunts.
But Arkan match suggests a totally new archetype. With 4 points awarded for a checked kick versus only 3 for a head strike, are we about to see the rise of the passive champion? A fighter who wins not by hurting you, but simply by waiting for you to make the mistake of trying to hurt them. That would be a very frustrating way to lose, but a fascinating way to win.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. See you next time.
Yeah, stomp the ground with purpose in your step. You didn't come to hide, you came with depth. Your breath stays steady, your focus stays tight. You walk in the circle, ready for the fight. Your eyes stay forward with a cold hard stare. You've been through struggle, you learn to stay aware. Your hands rise clean with power you bring. Every hit you land makes the whole arena ring. Your feet stay firm with discipline and pride. You don't get pushed back, you don't step aside. Dust moves around you, but you stay clear. You don't run from pressure, you stand right here. Stand your ground, hold your line. This moment is mine. You fight for control, not ego or rage. You keep your composure, you stay in your stage. You don't rush forward, you don't fall back. You move with purpose, you stay on track. Yo, yeah. Your presence speaks loud, your spirit is known. You built your strength from the life you've grown. Heat gets heavy, but you don't fold. Your heart stays steady and your stance stays bold. When the match gets tough and the noise gets loud, you stay locked in, you don't get drowned. When the last man drops and the truth is found, you're still standing, solid unbound. And when the dust settles and the world gathers round, they see the fighter who